I welcome you all to a webinar where we help home buyers and real estate professionals to find ways to help facilitate home buying options. I have Kelly Clayton, an expert for over 30 years. She's worked in all aspects of real estate, from mortgage, brokerage, to title and closing, to investments, all of those. We have Argeria. They will be talking. Argeria is an attorney in New York. She's working with Intel Title. And she's also an active home buyer. She comes across a lot of home buyers, and she has a lot of questions about that as well. So I welcome you both, and with all the other participants in the webinar. And today we are talking about down payment options. What down payment is required for primary residents and for secondary residents, and what are the different options available where we can minimize or get assistance for down payment? Kelly.
Thank you, Dr. Khan, and good morning, everyone. I'm here today to share the zero down payment options available to obtain a mortgage. The best option in the market is a VA loan. It's zero down payment, low interest rate, and no monthly mortgage insurance. With the VA loan, you do have to be able to obtain a certificate of eligibility that you have served in the military and obtain an honorable discharge. Another loan available is the USDA loan, and that also is a zero down payment, a low interest rate, and has a very low mortgage insurance premium, and that is open to everyone, but there are income requirements and there are geographic locations for the USDA loan. We also have an FHA loan that is available to everyone, and that's 3.5%, which is a low down payment, but MortgageZ does offer a grant for the 3.5% down payment. And that is a government loan with a credit score as low as 600. So it's really geared to those trying to enter the homeownership market. And lastly, we have a Fannie Mae Home Ready product that is 3% down with a very low mortgage insurance premium that does not have as many income requirements as the other programs. Argeria, do you think that any of these products would be something that you would use for your entry into the housing homeownership arena?
Yes, Kelly, thank you. Those are very interesting. I always thought that you had to have a minimum of 20% down. If not 20% down, then 10% down, or else mortgage insurance applies, and that's an extra monthly payment. I knew about the veteran loans, but I wasn't sure if they also apply to people who are volunteers. I myself volunteer for the Coast Guard. I've been volunteering for the past 5 years. I do the non-military functions of the Coast Guard, so I'm not too sure I volunteer for that loan. But what about people who are in the reserves and go away for a weekend and train with the military and actually perform military functions? Do they qualify for the veterans loans?
There are requirements for our reserve members to qualify for a VA loan. There are stipulations on their tenure. So we just have to run up. MortgageZ, we're connected with the VA system. So anyone can call and ask, and we are able to see if they're eligible or not. But I will say our down payment advantage grant is available for people that have served in military, first-time home buyer, civil servants, medical, nurses, educators, and doctors. They may not qualify for the zero down on VA, but they may qualify for our grant program that would grant that 3.5% or 2% down payment to still help them or help that person get into a home with little or no money down.
And with the grant, are there any other special requirements? Do they have to own the home for a number of years or take any special classes?
Well, most first-time home buyers, I'm going to recommend that you do take the first-time home buyer class. It's a great class that teaches you budgeting and things like that. Some of these do require that. I will say the USDA asks for that, but doesn't require it. The down payment assistance does want you to take the class, but you can take it online. And Dr. Khan and I are also trainers and teachers should be able to assist you with that. You know, there's no repayment necessary for this grant program. It's like you can almost buy a house with less than you would need to put a deposit on a rental unit.
That's amazing. I know I think in New York, there's a few state grants that do the same thing, but that's amazing that MortgageZ actually does it. I know we care a lot. We care a lot about the customer. Sounds like we care a lot about the customer. What about the USDA loans? Are those only rural areas?
It's anywhere outside of a metropolitan statistical area. It's usually maybe 15 or 20 minutes from downtown or the city limits of a city, usually 20 minutes outside of a city. I live 20 minutes outside of Richmond, which is the capital of Virginia, and my whole county is USDA eligible. 0 down payment, the whole county, anywhere in this county. And if you go around the perimeter of the city of Richmond, you go 20 minutes outside of the city limits, and most Hanover has USDA, Goochland has USDA, New Canaan. These are all surrounding counties. Most all of the county are USDA eligible. It's an awesome program. Just remember, it's geographic and income requirements.
So is there any way to find out before buying a house or a property that it falls into USDA, number one? And number two, are there any specific or specialized lenders which lend for USDA properties? And what are the down payment requirements?
Okay, so USDA, VA, and FHA are all insurance companies. They do not loan the money. They only insure the loan so that if you come to MortgageZ, we're the ones who are going to loan you the money. USDA, FHA, and VA, they're going to insure that loan so that if that low down payment person buys a house and something happens, they can't pay the payment, that we're not going to be stuck with a house that is over equity. So they're literally mortgage insurance companies. Everybody's heard of private mortgage insurance, and that's on conventional loans, which are private mortgage insurance companies that partner with mortgage companies like MortgageZ. The difference is USDA, VA, and FHA are government-backed mortgage insurers. So we actually loan the money just like we do under a PMI, and they're actually insured. Whenever you put less than 20% down, then there's a risk associated with the mortgage company. And that's why there's mortgage. People ask about mortgage insurance frequently. They're like, oh, is that like in case my house burns down? No, mortgage insurance is required for you to get a loan with less than 20% down. And it is no benefit to the consumer at all, except for the fact they're able to buy a house with 0 or low down payment. The mortgage insurance is for the mortgage company, that if you don't pay your payment and we have to foreclose on that property, we're not going to lose anything. The government will buy the house. So it frees up money for consumers to buy homes with less risk to the mortgage company.
I have a question about the mortgage insurance. As time goes on and you build equity in your home, which last time you discussed why we should buy because we're building equity and wealth for ourselves. Once the equity builds up to 20% of the value of the home, does mortgage insurance cease to exist? Is that taken off?
That's a great question, Argeria. On conventional loans, you can refinance or you can refinance your mortgage at any time that you feel like you have the equity position, or you wait and when it gets to 78% of the original acquisition cost, the mortgage insurance premium usually will be dropped off of your mortgage payment. But on government loans, it's not like that. government loans, the mortgage insurance, it takes an act of Congress to change the rules on government loans. And right now, the FHA loan says even if you hold that loan for 20 years and you have a 50% equity position, you're still going to pay mortgage insurance. So that's the difference in a Fannie Mae Home Ready private mortgage insurance company and a government-backed security that takes an act of Congress to change.
So, down payment assistance, again, can a realtor or another professional help their client in the down payment? Number one, can they take money from their family or friends? What are the rules for that?
Great question, Dr. Khan. The down payment on a property is very specific with all loan programs. You cannot get seller concessions or realtor concessions on down payment money because the rules in the mortgage industry, they think they're getting you to buy the house by giving you something, and it's not allowed. But what they can do is they can help you with closing costs. The seller can help pay your closing costs, and you can receive closing cost assistance from, closing costs can come from the seller or different parties to the transaction. Down payment specific can come from a close family member, mother, father, or a partner, a spouse. But that's the limitation on down payment gifting.
Is there any cash requirements in terms of like the seasoning requirements for the cash? Like if I get money, it has to stay for a certain period of time in my bank, and are there any such requirements for that?
When you go to apply for a mortgage, they want to season or source your money. And it's because the greatest rate of foreclosures and defaults are where people are paying other people to buy houses for them. So it's very strict. When you apply for a loan, they're going to look at your bank statements for the last 2 months. I'm going to look at those. And if I see a deposit of any amount of money that's not typical, it's not typically your paycheck, it's not typically, side money, then we're going to want to know where that money came from. We want to source that money, and it needs to be seasoned unless it's a gift. And then there are documentation requirements, like you have to prove that your relative gave you the money by looking at their bank account. You have to show that you received the money from them directly, that it was directly deposited into your account. There's a list of items that are required when it comes to down payment funds for closing.
So it can't be a loan from a relative. It has to be listed as a gift.
Exactly. Remember, loans are going to be counted in your debt ratio. And there's a gift form that says this money came from mom and no repayment necessary, and both people need to sign that.
I would like to request you, Kelly, that if you can just tell us, like as a summary, that these are the down payment options available, and when can a home buyer qualify for a zero down payment?
When someone applies for a mortgage with MortgageZ, we're mortgage professionals here. We're not going to try to put you in this program or that program. We're going to look at your specific criteria and see what best program fits your needs. If you are eligible for the VA loan, we're going to put you in that first. If you're not, we'll go to USDA. If you do not meet those eligibility requirements, then we're going to take you to Fannie Mae or FHA. It just takes a simple phone call, a few minutes of time, and then we can work on pre-qualifying you. Or you can go to our website at MortgageZ.us and apply online if that's more convenient for you. But you're going to be required to give some information. I will say that we do offer lower credit scores than many of the banks and large lenders because we are client focused. Our goal is to put more people into homes than than is available on the normal market. We're here for you.
At this time, I would like to reiterate, friends, these sessions that we do are purely for helping and information. These are not marketing sessions. We are not selling anything. Kelly and Argeria, Rashid, and myself, we have already always reiterated that we are here, regardless of where you go for service. If you need any information, any guidance, anything we can do to facilitate your home buying process or home selling process. I am founding member of CPEC. Naturally, sometimes I talk about my company. Likewise, Kelly is a founding member of MortgageZ. So she talks about MortgageZ, but it does not mean that we are marketing these companies. You're very welcome. We will help you if you want any services from us. We'll be very glad to help you out. But even if you do not want to do that, we will still be very willing and able and available to help you with your questions and all that. So please do not take these as marketing sessions. These are purely information and education. So moving the conversation forward, I think we've talked reasonably well about residential mortgage. And if there is any question, users about down payments or other aspects of buying or selling a house, they are welcome to contact us. Commercial loans, are there any down payment requirements or is there any down payment assistance available for, and I'm talking about commercial real estate loans.
Usually commercial and investment loans are going to require some type of down payment because they are business loans. They're investment loans, unlike the first-time home buyer entry into the market loans. If
a commercial property has rental income, can the rental income be used to for in the mortgage application and part of the down payment?
Argeria, the rental income for commercial investment property and owner-occupied, where a homeowner wants to buy a 4-unit property and live in one of them, both commercial and residential will allow the rental income to be counted as income for their qualification purposes.
I think we'll have a detailed session as we keep doing it for commercial properties separately, or income generating properties, investment properties. Please keep following our social media and web for upcoming events. I would like to thank Kelly and Argeria, Rashid, and all the participants and all the people who made this session possible. And I encourage all of our participants who attended this session or who would like to who watch this video, please share it with other people purely for educational and information purposes. And I would like to remind you that we have this Friday forum every Friday at 11 a.m. Other than that, there are several other activities that we keep doing. So please follow us. And also, I can't reiterate this enough that we're always available to help, guide, and support your home buying, home selling, or other real estate related activities. And what will be our next session about, Argeria, Kelly?
Like Dr. Khan said, we meet every Friday at 11 a.m. And I believe our next session is going to be about rent to buy, which Kelly and Rashid and I will be discussing again.
Okay, excellent. Rent to buy is a great program for those people who for any reason cannot immediately buy. Their credit issues, or there's a lot of things happen in life, and sometimes we want to do it, but we are not able to do it for credit reasons, for other reasons. So Rent to Buy is a great program for that. Please join us in that next session for Rent to Buy program. If you have any questions, you have our contact information through social media. Please feel free to contact us anytime. Thank you very much, all, and have a great day.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.